Please help us welcome our next guest on the stage tonight. He's an author, a commentator, and one of Britain's most successful stand-ups, Australiaphile, one and only Mr. Mark Watson.
Hi. 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 There's no time to talk to everyone individually, so we'll crack on. It's nice to be back. This is such a lovely place. I've not been in Sydney for 2 years. I've been home in Britain. I'm from Britain. At one time, I used to have quite a pronounced Welsh accent, which is sort of, I'm losing gradually, bit by bit. It's kind of convenient to lose it, because in Britain, a Welsh accent is, people bag it a lot. People take the piss. A friend of mine said, you get this a lot. A friend of mine said, I can never do a Welsh accent. If I try and do Welsh, it comes out sounding Pakistani, right? And I said, well, you have to try harder to master it, Ahmed. All his accents come out Pakistani. Right, I'll tell you, this is a piece of trivia about that joke. I thought of that joke. I was on a train, and I thought, I better make a note of that. That could be funny. And I wrote on my hand just the word Pakistani, right? And what can go wrong? And then I looked up and I realized the guy next to me was maybe not Pakistani, but definitely of Asian origin. And he was looking at me, clearly thinking that I just went around noting down if I spotted one. Pakistani, there's one. I'll report that to the necessary authorities. Very awkward. Do you like the way I said people bag the Welsh accent? That's not a British thing. That's your phrase. That's me trying to fit in with the Aussies. Oh, yeah, we bag him. Every time I'm in Australia, I try and learn some more Australian slang. So my new phrase, for example, that I've learned on this trip to Australia is to hang shit on someone, meaning to make fun of them, to take the piss out. We don't have this in Britain. This is very Australian. The way I learned was this guy said, oh, yeah, this friend of mine, he's got a really long nose, so we hang shit on him. I'm like, my God, how long is this nose? Long enough to support a load-bearing tray? Or do you just drape the shit free-form on it? Anyway, I didn't have time to inquire. I should be slightly more mature than this, really. Since I last came to Sydney, I've had various life-changing experiences. My wife got pregnant. A tense silence. With me, as well. I should probably have said that. I should obviously be a bit more macho. It's a sad thing that I can say my wife got pregnant and not one person even went, woo! Everyone just clearly thought, you poor bugger. But no, with me, I impregnated my wife. There you go. Yeah! With my cock! Yeah, the cock is just the quickest way. It's the way they recommend doing it in the fertility clinic. It's a bizarre feeling to know that your wife, is going to have a baby. At first, you can't believe it. You can't even tell anyone at first in case something goes wrong. So there's this weird period where you're just dropping hints. Your wife drops hints, Would you like a drink? Oh, no drink for me, thank you. And everyone goes, oh. She used to love a drink, yeah. Oh. Would you like a punch in the stomach? Better not, thank you. She used to love that kind of thing. I know. Dark joke, probably. It's fairly clear that I'm not capable of domestic violence, probably. You didn't think I was capable of domestic sex, even, so, It's an odd feeling, the idea that you're gonna be a dad, A dad! Even the idea of it, a dad. Dads are like a different species, If you look around here, you can see people that are clear dads, and there's nothing wrong with it, but they're different from the way that I see myself. They wear dad clothes, they listen, maybe on the way here, they listen to the Eagles or something. They make dad noises. I've started making dad noises because it's a peculiar feeling. I've started picking things up and going, hop, for example. Even not that heavy an object necessarily. Recently, I caught myself getting into a hot bath and sort of going, ay. Even as I was doing it, I thought, that is not one of my noises. That's not realistic. That is my dad's noise. I'm becoming a dad. And it's kind of alarming, really, because I don't feel like I've mastered life enough to bring a new person into the... Well, my wife did the actual, bringing, but still, the idea that there was going to be a person, a boy as well. We found out the sex beforehand. Obviously, afterwards, you nearly always know the sex. The baby doesn't get to 3 and people go, what have you got? We still don't know, actually. He's very cagey, covers up in the bath. So, but we found out, even before the birth, we found out it was going to be a boy. Which is weird, you know. I'm sorry I'm going so fast, by the way, but there's just no time, you know. Just got to. But I talk so fast anyway. It's incredible, good value though. That's the thing. I always feel if people come to my show, they'll go away at least having had their money's worth. Was he funny? Not exactly funny, but fuck me, he said some words. I came to see a man speak, and by God, he spoke. Yeah, so having a boy, being the father of a boy, that's a big thing for a man to confront, you know? The idea that there will be a tiny man born into the world whose first idea of what it means to be a man, his first idea of masculinity will be based on me. You know, that's... I didn't see that as a joke. That's more sort of a thought-provoking remark. But it's true, you know. I don't think I've mastered life at all. One of the big things we were taught at school when I was in Britain growing up was don't get in anyone's car. Never get in a stranger's car if they offer you sweets or they say they're your dad's mate. Whatever it is, don't get in the car. And this is, I assume it's the same in Australian schools. I mean, Australia is famously much more relaxed country, but still, I don't imagine your teachers just used to go, just get home however you can, boys. He's got a car, go for it. So, you know, this is a universal staple of parenting. Don't let them get in a car. Right, but I'm 31. I haven't really mastered that. Even now, there's certain sweets I'm very vulnerable to. Cherry ripe, for example. You can't even get cherry ripe in the UK. If we come out of here tonight and someone's dangling a cherry ripe out the window, get in the car, we're going to Newcastle. I'll be in that car, no doubt about it. And I've been there, I know what I'm saying. You know, I just, basically, I don't think I'm quite cut out to be a parent, but it's too late. I am one. And you just have to sort of get on with it. There's a lot of pressure on men, I think, well, and there's a lot of pressure on everyone, but I think as a man, you're associated with bravery and courage and, you know, strength in a way which I'm not particularly comfortable with. Even the, you know, the sort of phrases that we use. For example, you're never allowed to use the C word. The C word is the rudest word because that is the female genitalia, but you can say what you like about mine. You know, you can say, oh, he's a cock, he's a bit of a prick. As a man, you're just meant to laugh off this sort of thing. He's a penis, he made a dick of himself. This is just my uncle watching Top Gear. Right, like, the male genitalia are absolutely, and again, balls, it took, oh, he's got balls, wow, that took balls. That's commonplace, you know. It's very patronising to women, I think. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for women. Well, I own one. You know, the idea that, so, I don't see why it is that even if it's a woman being brave, you still have to say, that woman, oh, she's got balls, that took balls, you know. Even, why? Why do testicles have to somehow mean courage? There's no female equivalent. You'll never hear someone say, well, that took vag. For example, what's that? You punched a policeman. Oh, minge of steel, that girl. Anyway, I'll leave you on that unpleasant note. Thank you very much. Good night. Bye.